Hey, I'm Cooper and write tunes under ESCARP. From the gong, yeah. Been writing a heap of prog.
But what do you think defines prog from non-prog?
I just literally write what I like to write, and then if anyone doesn't like it, well then they can go jam it up where the sun doesn't shine, basically. I get heaps of inspiration from fishing and using the chainsaw.
I have been hearing that Israeli prog is more like cheesy prog, is it right?
Cheesy. So right now in the process I'm building a modulator guitar, which is basically an electric guitar with a synth modulator underneath it. I've got a bit of work, but I love doing fucking a whole heap of nothing actually. You can still find chasing the butterfly around the top of your finger in circular rotations, and then when it turns back around you're like, holy fuck, it just went 180 degrees back the other way, that's not clockwise.
Hello everybody from a free range gathering in Canberra. Brother, please introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Cooper and write tunes under ESCARP.
What does your artist name mean and how did it come about?
Well, I'm from Wollongong, so we basically have the ocean literally right there beneath our feet, and then above our head is just like 150,000 metres of escarpment basically. So yeah, we always grew up there my whole life, and I like to write tunes and have a lot of sounds that come from both the city and the mountains as well, because like, you know what I mean? Like you can literally hear motorcycles screaming through kilometres of the escarpment, like just from like 3 suburbs away, just because it echoes so much. So yeah, it's a beautiful place.
What kind of music do you write?
Been writing a heap of prog, about like the 140 BPM range. Like I sort of get a lot of inspiration from a lot of the European and Israeli prog writers for their bass lines basically. And then all the atmospheres and all that sort of come from basically just living in Wollongong. Like, written a couple songs with like coal trains running right through the introduction of it, sort of thing, and all that kind of stuff.
I have been hearing that Israeli prog is more like cheesy prog, is it right?
Cheesy? I don't know, I like the bass lines and that, but yeah, I just think it's cheesy because like it's really like highly defined progressive music, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of skill that goes into creating those sort of bass lines, where you got like just more basic prog in that, where it's just like a standard 4/4 triplet formation kind of thing. Like there's so many more fills and so many different aspects and stuff you can create.
But what do you think defines prog from non-prog?
Well, definitely the BPM aspect of it, don't you reckon?
Well, sometimes they say that, like, for example, sometimes they say progressive house, which is a much slower BPM than prog house.
I'm not that much into house music.
But like prog, what do you think? How does prog, like even at higher BPMs, what's the difference between prog and non-prog, you think?
To be honest, I'm not that very well educated in the whole aspects of genre definity. But yeah, I just literally write what I like to write, and then if anyone doesn't like it, well then they can go jam it up where the sun doesn't shine, basically.
So how long have you been writing now?
About 3 years. Yeah. Started writing tunes on my iPhone on GarageBand, and then eventually a couple people like, you know, Chenko.
No.
Well, Chenko, you're a shit cunt. He's basically like, stop writing music on your fucking iPhone and get onto a laptop, because like you got something. So 3 years later I got a laptop and I've been writing tunes and it's been going good.
Have you been performing your tunes at any parties so far?
No, not yet. still in the more creative process of it. My real goal is, because I've been playing guitar since I was 5 years old, so I want to incorporate a full-on journey set where I'm playing guitar and modulating the guitar into an FM lead over the top of a bass line that makes it more journeyful. So right now in the process, I'm building a modulated guitar, which is basically an electric guitar with a synth modulator underneath it, to basically for me to play live and just absolutely just crank the tits off anything, you know what I mean? So I've been doing that. I've been looking at a couple YouTube tutorials on like soldering electronics and that, but I've asked like a couple homies to give me a hand. They're like, we don't want anything to do with what you were planning on doing because it's that fucked in the head. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's good, but like that's my main goal, to incorporate guitar and a lot more live instruments to replace FM leads and that into the psychedelic music scene. You know, like a lot more live percussion and everything else that comes around that, because it's only so long before, like in 20 years time, it's like, fuck, everyone's heard that snare before, you know what I mean? Or fuck, that FM sound, everyone has heard that before. So I'm just sort of coming at it from like a young new aspect into the scene, being like, oh, I'm gonna give this a good crack and like bring some new ideas and like some more like homely, like earth live instrumental sort of music into it, you know what I mean? And it's still psychedelic, you know what I mean? Like you can still find chasing the butterfly around the top of your finger in circular rotations, and then when it turns back around, you're like, holy fuck, it just went 180 degrees back the other way. That's not clockwise. You know what I mean? Other than sitting there in a chair being like, oh, I think I've just found another planet. You know what I mean? There's so many more fucking different psychedelic things you can find on Earth that I just like love to incorporate into my music. Like, I love doing fucking a whole heap of nothing actually. I just love fishing. I get heaps of inspiration from fishing and using the chainsaw. You know, my mate's got a VL Commodore and it's like, so I've tried to sample that a couple times into some high tech. And then other than that, like I lived in Fairy Meadow for a bit, so I sort of got like those real quick vibes of, if you live in Fairy Meadow, you know what I'm talking about, but like...
I lived in Fairy Meadow for a bit.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
They're real quick cunts, hey? You better... I'm a tradesman, right? So you better lock your toolboxes, otherwise you are fucked.
Bro, so are you gonna like, when you actually get to perform at some parties, are you gonna actually play guitar live or not?
Yeah, it's just gonna variate on how well this guitar modulator works out. Because if it works out that it's like DB's knees of rock and roll, well then, mate, I'm gonna be up there, and I just won't even turn it on. Because I'll be that shit scared that some fuckwit's gonna steal my idea. I'll just keep that one to myself. But yeah, I'll play live sets on guitar and that, but it'll be on acoustic.
Fair enough. Can you tell me who currently are your favorite electronic music producers?
Right now would have to be G-Banger, Lawless Nature. He's from up in Urunga. He's an absolute legend. Me mate Yak. He's writing some sick drum and bass. Galactic Explorers. They're doing some sick full on. Have to give them that. Some quality shit, but it's like real European based, like it's Twilight shit, but it does the job. And then other than that, no one else really. I don't really listen to that many people's tunes. Like I sort of find inspiration through my own life history sort of thing. Like I've always used music as an escape, so I don't really like to judge anyone on their music. I just like to play music to make myself happy, and if anyone doesn't like it, well then they can go and get fucked, because it makes me happy if you like it or not, you know what I mean? So I just do it for myself. It's not a money thing. Like I got a good job. It's not the best job, but fuck me.
That's good, man. So what brings you here to Free Range Gathering? Like, what are you doing? You came from Sydney, right? From Wollongong.
Yeah, from the Gong, yeah. Straight out of 2515. Sick little pad. We just come down for me mate's birthday. It was sick, you know, like real wig out driving through here because you got like a military base and then you got the fucking AFP on the side and you're like, fuck man, if these cunts pull this party off, it will be alright, eh? You know what I mean? Like, fucking hats off to them. Fuck me, if they pull this party off, I will get naked.
Oh, it looks like they are pulling it off. When are you gonna get naked?
Whenever you ask me to.
Not on camera, not now. Maybe on the dance floor at some point.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bro,
I've got a bath next to me campsite, so you can come around later on if you want.
Sounds good, bro. Any last words? What would you like to add to this interview? And thank you for like actually in-depth perception of what your take.
In-depth perception on what?
On the music. On the music. No, you're on. No, I said already. Thank you in the interview. You've already showed quite a big in-depth perception on the music and what you want to do. What? Any last words that you would like to say, in general?
An in-depth perception on my music is like the end goal of literally creating a 5-minute reality per track of somewhere else that you'd rather be in your fucking life, and it will be hitting as hard as the deepest, darkest shit that you've experienced in your life, but also providing like the best possible outcome for yourself for the future. So I've got a bit of work, but I want to get there because it's also fucking helping me get through my own shit, trying to do that. So yeah.
Well, sounds good, brother. Thank you for talking to me. I wish you all the best in your pursuits and have an awesome the rest of the party.
Okay, brother.